In this video we'll discuss 15 things that the social justice warriors, Antifa, have in common with theists. Number one, they think they're right. Basically, like theists, their religion is right. They'll tell you, well, my experiences, or even if it's Christianity, the Holy Spirit speaks to me and I know in my heart. Muslims will tell you, the experiences, and all of them, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, fulfilled prophecies and miracles. I prayed and I found this. I prayed and I was healed. I had cancer and I prayed. They'll tell you these things, and they're right. Their particular brand is right. With theists, they believe everyone's wrong and they're right, and they think anyone that disagrees with them is stupid, racist, sexist, homophobic, and we'll get into those buzzwords a little later on. Theists, anyone who disagrees with them is worldly and is going to burn in hell and suffer, and they're going to get it in the end. They're going to find out. 2, persecution complex. Most religious people think they're being persecuted. They always believe they're being persecuted. It seems like that's their bread and butter. They're persecuted. They're persecuted. Everyone's out to get them. They're suffering. We're going to take away their right to pray in school. They actually believe they can't pray in school and bring their Bibles when they are allowed to. They just can't force other people to take part. Teachers cannot force their students to take part in that stuff. So that stuff is wrong. But the information they're going to give is wrong. That's what they tell their congregation. You got to scare your followers. Social justice warriors, Antifa, they're going to take away our rights. Our reproductive rights and this and that. They're going to take away our rights, the theists will say that take away our freedoms. Both of them will say take away their freedoms, but they'll have different interpretation of what that freedom is. That's always they're going to take away our rights. They're persecuting us. They're attacking us. They're the bad guys. It's always they're the bad guys. 3, violence. They're willing to use violence to get what they want. And you say, well, you don't see too many theists today doing that. Well, that's among Christians and Jews. You don't see too much today. Although you do occasionally get them attacking an abortion clinic or shooting abortion doctors, but that's very rare now. Very, very rare. But you do see a lot with Muslims. People who are very devout in their religion are pretty nasty people. So you do see Muslims blowing things up, blowing people up, running cars into people. They're just, engaging in terrorism and everything, because hey, these people are infidels. Infidel just means non-believer. You don't believe their particular belief, whether it's social justice warrior, Antifa, religion. If you don't subscribe to their particular Nazi feminism or any of that stuff, you're an infidel. Well, they always will call you, all of them will call you, well, religious people will call you the infidel. Be prepared for that. And they will use violence. You see it if you go to YouTube. You see these Antifa people. They'll pepper spray people. That they disagree with. They spit on them and everything. And they actually believe that freedom of speech means preventing other people from speaking. They don't think that, hey, they're bringing somebody in. How about we bring somebody in and to debate them? Have a debate. We sit down, keep our freaking mouths shut, and let them debate in a friendly manner. And then later after the debate, we ask questions of them. They don't think that way. Religious people the same way. You can't walk into a church and debate these people. They will not allow that. But they will get violent with you. 4, lie and misinformation. Again, the wage gap. They give you misinformation, but you can go to YouTube, or any other site. You can learn more about that. That's from me. They're much better at explaining it. In religion, they give wrong information about evolution. They purposely tell them the wrong definition of a theory. They don't even tell them how science actually works. They'll say, well, this science book, it says this stuff today, but 25 years from now it's going to be different, blah, blah, blah. But that's how science works. New information. Science is not dogmatic and authoritative. Religion, these Antifa, social justice warriors, third wave feminists, all these other folks, they are very dogmatic. Either agree or you're a bad guy, you're bad. And they will lie. 5, kind of, it never goes on to 4, but it's wrong about things. They're usually going to be wrong about most of what they say. Most of what they say, like the wage gap, evolution, the world, they tell their people, because this is not really what they're lying to the congregation. They are lying, but it's also being wrong, because some of them may actually believe what they're saying to their congregation. The world last night, they went out and partied and got drunk. Now they're miserable and all this stuff. But we're always happy because we are saved. We're going to heaven. Antifa, social justice warriors, they think anyone disagrees with them is a liar. And, they don't want to listen to anything anybody says. Most of the stuff they say is wrong. Immigration, they actually can't tell the difference between legal immigration and illegal immigration. Of course, you'll never see them try to enter another country illegally and see what happens. I wish they would. It'd be a real eye-opener for them. Especially, going to Russia, China, any country, but, especially not in Europe, especially non-European, not in the United States, Canada, or Australia. Try to enter Japan. Japan's a first world country. But go to Japan illegally and see how they handle you. Try it. But they purposely will say, oh, Trump is xenophobic. Why is he xenophobic? Because he wants to crack down on legal immigration. Yeah, true, Trump is not the greatest president. I would never have voted for him. I didn't vote for him, thankfully. Obama was not that great either. He did a good job dividing us, and these professors, 6, force their beliefs on others. These college professors, and I'm talking about gender studies, those type of things, they will force their beliefs on their students. Either you believe what I tell you, or I fail your ass, or you're hateful and sexist and racist and homophobic. In religion, it's the same type of thing. They knock on your door, or you believe like I believe, or you're going to burn in hell. They're constantly trying to badger people, street preachers and all this stuff. Now you go to the Atheist Experience, you can call in the show and debate them. Name one Christian YouTube channel where you could do such a thing. 7, easily offended. We all know about this, right? Social justice warriors, Antifa, feminists, not all feminists, but third wave feminists, anything offends them. Tell them about breastfeeding being natural for women. Yeah, there's a video of them being offended. Go to Magog, and he does a video about these people breastfeeding. I mean, anything, you never know what will trigger them and upset them. Religious folks, same thing. They're easily offended. Everything offends them. Muslims get offended when they go to a first world country, and they see women dressed the way they do, and that offends them. Well, then don't come over here. If you don't like how our women are dressed, don't come over here. Simple as that. But they get offended. Christians get offended easily by what they see on TV. Watching, Lion King, they claim they can see the word sex in the clouds. Who the hell looks for that stuff? 8, believe their morality and ideas are superior. Religious folks believe their morality is better than everyone else. Our morality comes from our Bible, our Quran, our religion. Without God, our God, of course, there is no morality. Social justice warriors, Antifa people, they think they're right and they're moral. People who claim, as I'm sure you've noticed this throughout history, the people that always claim to be the most righteous, the most moral, think they know better than you do, are always the most nastiest people you'll ever meet. They're usually bloodthirsty killers. 9, look down on people with different viewpoints. And you see that all the time, religious people, if you don't believe with them, you're worldly, or you're a sinner, or if you belong to a different religion, you're just blinded by Satan, and all this stuff. The other group, they all look down on poor people. Religious people see poor people as people to exploit. You exploit them and try to get money that they don't have. These Antifa social justice warriors, they make fun of them. The Asian woman that used the white trash thing, that Meryl Streep called people white trash and all this because they like MMA and stuff like that. You know, they make fun of poor people, especially white people. Poor white people, they make fun of more than anything else, and they think it's okay. 10. We'll get rid of or ostracize is any beliefs that are different. Well, in most colleges, these professors, those extremist professors, they make sure that anyone who thinks differently than them basically lose their job. That's what they do. That's what they try to do. That's why they're so extreme. See, that stuff will not work in the real world. If they had to work in the real world, they wouldn't last. Same with these religious folks. You either think about like them or they get rid of you. You can't preach at their church. If you preach at their church and your opinions change a little bit, they will kick you out, especially more of the fundamental churches. 11. Brainwash and control their followers. Again, these college professors, now you'll notice the majority of the people who take gender studies and women's studies and African American studies, or most of the congregation in these churches, they don't all follow what they're being told. Most of them don't. But you always get the few, and they're the loudest, the most obnoxious, and the most violent, that get brainwashed easily. They're easy to control, easy to brainwash, and these are the people that these professors look for, and that these preachers are after. You can exploit them for money, for any type of political gain, or whatever you want. It's very easy. Simple people are easy to exploit. 12. Both appeal to the weak-minded, gullible, and unintelligent. Again, that goes with number 11. The easiest people to brainwash are the gullible, people who are unintelligent, and people who are, of course, weak-minded. Those are the people that are going to sit in these classrooms and believe what their professors say. They're not going to go out and look at the information for themselves and see what they're being preached is true. They're claiming what the Bible says. Really, they're not going to read their Bibles to see if what they're being told. They're going to interpret their Bible the way their preacher tells them to interpret their Bible. They will only read the verses that their preacher tells them, or priest or imam tells them to read. In the social justice warrior classes, like, read these books only, don't read any of these other books. They do not allow critical thinking, logic, science, history, any of that stuff. They will not know about. They don't care about it. 13. Both dislike science, knowledge, and they both do not like debate and free speech. Free speech is the hallmark of our country. There was once people used to say, I may not agree with what you say, but I will fight to the death to defend it, because they know what it's like not to have free speech. They know what it's like to be jailed or put to death because your opinions differ from the government or people in power. Voltaire once said, if you want to know who is in charge of you, find out who you're not allowed to criticize. They do not like science. They'll tell you all this gender stuff that's not even backed up by science. They will never put that in a peer-reviewed science journal because they know they get slaughtered. None of that crap they're going to tell you about gender or any of that stuff is even remotely true. Religious folks, they tell you about evolution, about science, about how the world was formed, about life. Any of that stuff is not even true. It's not even your Bibles and Quran, what you're learning from these Antifa folk and gender studies and feminist studies and African American studies is not true. It's all nonsense. Now, let me qualify that. I'm saying African American studies, not African American history. Okay? Two different things. African American history, I suggest everybody take that. It is very informative. You will learn a lot, and you really need to take that. It's not none of the stuff you learn in that class is going to be wrong. Most of it in the books, most of it's going to be pretty accurate. And if you're lucky, you can even have a teacher teach you. If you take U.S. history, will actually incorporate African American history with it. But they do not like as I said earlier, they think free speech means shutting down someone else's speech. Free speech is listening to what they say and debating them. Or you bring some people in to debate them. But of course, don't expect religious people or Antifa or social justice. Antifa and social justice warriors are the same, but not all social justice warriors are Antifa. Antifa is anti-fascist, but if you look at their videos, you'll see that these Antifas are fascists. They don't like knowledge. If they actually read books, history books, they would realize they are the bad guy. 14, like buzzwords. They love their buzzwords. You're sexist, you're homophobic, you're racist, you're, what is it? Some of the others. You're a creator. Well, no. What a creatard is, I never use that for creation, so I want to throw that in. But let's just throw that in, because I do not want to use that. I do not like that word. I will not use it. But libtard, conservatard, you know, worldly, and all these little things they'll throw in. They love buzzwords. If they use those buzzwords, that means they've lost the debate already. That's why they're going, if they debate you, you know, usually once these people are cornered, they're going to call you racist, sexist, homophobic, or depending on which side, worldly and sinner, agent of Satan, and stuff like that. When they do that, just smile and realize you just beat them. 15, out of touch with reality. These professors, these celebrities, these preachers and priests and imams don't live in the real world. Most of them don't. They go to Bible college or whatever schools that these imams and whatever go to, rabbis, and that's their whole life. They never had to deal with the real world. They never worked a real job. Oh yeah, that was number 16. So let's turn this to 16 things. Now I remember what 16 was. Sorry about that. But they're out of touch with the real world. That's why celebrities make remarks that they make. They actually think that their job is more important than it is. And that's going to get into number 16, which I just wrote. So it's 16 things, not 17. Sorry, not 15. Sorry about that. However, as I'm saying, they're out of touch with reality. They don't know what it's like to work in a real job. Those professors, feminist studies and all that stuff, they don't know. They never had to, and they never will work a real job. They're not really, they don't have a real job, but that's going to get to number 16. And number 16 is never produced anything. They don't produce nothing. Social justice warriors, Antifa, your celebrities, your preachers and priests and imams and rabbis, they produce nothing. They don't really do anything for others either. And okay, the religious folks, they do some stuff. You know, they help the homeless and stuff. Of course, they hold their sandwich ransom and force them to listen to the gospel, but at least they do some help. But the other side, they don't. None of them produce anything. They're not doing anything to better mankind. In fact, they're pulling us back. They do what they can to pull us back. The celebrities think they're better than everyone else. They look down their nose on everybody. But you're a freaking celebrity. You pretend to be someone else. You're not really doing anything. Your job is just to keep us entertained. You're not a scientist. You're not a mathematician. You're not any part of STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. You're not a historian. So shut the hell up. You're nothing. Celebrities, social justice warriors, Antifa folks, religious preachers and stuff. You're not producing nothing, okay? You don't have no right to look down on anybody. You're not better. I never get that. But people, these are just 16. There would probably be more. Sometimes, I forget. I don't get a chance to write it down because I'm usually busy with something. But these are 16 of my favorite ones. I'm sure you can come up with your own. So, of course, if you go in the description, you'll see a link to my website where I have ebooks. And I'm probably going to make this into an ebook. It won't be published anytime soon, probably. But anyways, I'm sure you guys can come up with much better lists. And I'm probably going to think of things I should have added to this. I wish I had. But those will probably be in the ebook. Thanks. Bye.